Well, the last Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Colts was Peyton Manning back in 2006. Nowadays, their offense runs through one of the best backs in the league in Jonathan Taylor. In only his second season, Taylor led the league in rushing yards with more than 1,800 yards. New quarterback Matt Ryan and the Colts look to make a run come this postseason. Here's our NFL analyst Pete Prisco with Jonathan Taylor from Colts camp.
You had an amazing season last year, and yet I went and saw something that you went back and looked at all the negative runs that you had to see what you did wrong. Why did you do that?
Number one, anytime you can eliminate negative runs, that means we're at least getting back to the line of scrimmage or we're gaining yards. So if you can eliminate those, that's just one more thing to add to the element of our offense. You know, hey, we're the best at eliminating negative runs. Those will set you back on your schedule with the chains. So if you can eliminate those, that's just one small piece to the entire pie to a winning formula.
You're in the MVP conversation, but the MVP award has almost become a quarterback conversation or quarterback award. What do you have to do to get maybe further into the conversation and let the running backs become a part of it?
You just have to do enough. I tell people all the time, it's been won before by a running back. You just have to do enough. That's all.
Well, what's enough? Because you led the league in yards from scrimmage, you led the league in rushing, you had 20 touchdowns. What's enough?
I always tell people you'll find out what enough is when you win it.
When you're winning, that's when you find out. Okay, the running back position has kind of been devalued some, but you kind of changing the flow of that a little bit. Do you look at yourself that way? You and Derrick Henry, you're back in being guys who can have a lot of carries.
Yeah, I just like to show that the preparation in your off season can prepare you for the season. Now, like you mentioned, the case of Derrick Henry, myself, last season, I had a high workload, but you have to prepare yourself for that no matter what your load may be. You could be a guy that is on a snap count or a pitch count the entire season, but you better be prepared just in case somebody go down and you have to get in there and you have to handle a heavy workload. So I think myself and other people as well, similarly, you mentioned Derrick, we take pride in our off-season work to make sure that no matter what the team asks us to do, we're able to handle that workload, no matter how large or small.
You carried over 300 times last year. Would you like to cut that number down a little bit?
If Coach came to me and said, JT, we'll win the Super Bowl and you have to get 400 carries, then I'm all for it. But if he says you only need 50 carries, then I'm all for that as well.
What would that body feel like if you had 400 carries? I can't imagine.
Hopefully, with all of my preparation and all of my body maintenance throughout the year, hopefully I'm able to mitigate the body breaking down as much as possible. And that's something that I stay on day in and day out, just making sure every time I step on this field, I'm giving it my all, but then I'm also giving it my all with the recovery process as well, because that's what it takes.
What's more enjoyable to you, ripping off a 60-yard run or running over somebody at the line of scrimmage?
A lot of times running through someone at the line of scrimmage, it kind of just sets the tone for the team, especially when it happens at the beginning of the game. You just kind of let the other team know we're here for all 4 quarters. We know you're not going to give us anything. We don't want anything given to us. We're going to earn it and we're going to take it, but it's going to be all 4 quarters.
One last thing, 16 touchdowns and you will tie Barry Sanders. 17, you break the record for the most touchdowns in the first 3 years in the league. That's pretty impressive company right there.
Oh, I mean, that's elite company. You talk about a guy like that, someone who's one of the best to ever do it, and you just put your head down and work. And the thing that drives all of those accolades is, how can I be the best I can be for my team? What is going to allow us to help us to win games? And that's kind of what drives that. So 18 touchdowns, maybe 21. Yeah, that's
20
a lot of touchdowns in this league, yeah. Especially with the way defenses are looking now. I mean, shoot, just look at our defense. Yeah. It's hard to score that many touchdowns in this league.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, entering his 3rd season in the league, Taylor making a name for himself as one of the best to tote the rock. In the 2021 season, you see it here ranking 1st in rushing attempts, yards, touchdowns, and first downs.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.